Hey everyone, it's MeraMangle.
And Fabrielle.
And welcome to another Mangle morning.
Woo!
Fabrielle, you ready to work out?
I'm ready to pump it up. Substance style.
I want to do some jumping jacks. I need to wake up today. I think it's the weather here in St. Louis. It's just so dreary.
Yeah, but you're not. You're shining like a golden beacon.
Thank you.
In the.
Speaking of golden beacons and shining queens, today we're talking about SLAYSIAN ROYALE. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of
golden beacons.
I was going to say, what did I just say? I couldn't think of that phrase. I already lost it. I want to take a drink of this before I need to take a sip.
Take a shot of adrenaline.
Because it's full of Monster. So a few weeks back, it was announced Drag Race Philippines, their first ever All-Stars season, is going to be called SLAYSIAN ROYALE.
Ooh!
But it's basically going to be a verse the world, essentially.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be queens from, Asian queens from all different franchises that get to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're doing today, is we're doing our wish list for that SLAYSIAN ROYALE, where we each chose 10 queens that we'd like to see on SLAYSIAN ROYALE. Let us know who you want on SLAYSIAN ROYALE Season 1 in the comments below. The other thing we're going to do is talk about some of the franchises that are coming up this year and what is most anticipated.
Ooh, okay.
But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube. Plus, you're helping support the channel. I gotta be careful.
The fringe.
Right, because I'll knock everything off.
Right.
Now you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or CashApp, like Irvin A., who said, I was a mangled mess without Mangle Morning last week. And thank you for the double feature episode. I missed one of the recaps, so... but I covered both. In a double.
A double feature. A late night double feature.
Trying to keep up. Of course, you can also tip on the YouTube thanks, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. Now, I did a poll on Patreon asking our members which season that's coming up in 2025, confirmed to air in 2025, are you most excited for? And so the options are All-Stars 10, France, their first All-Stars, SLAYSIAN ROYALE, España Season 5, Brazil Season 2, UK Season 7, and Canada Season 6. Ooh. There's some others, like, of course, Versus the World's going to come back, but those typically, like, especially for UK Versus the World, that typically airs in the new year, like at the start of the new year. Mexico and, for Season 3, and South Africa Season 1 are casting, but they're just now in the casting process.
Right.
So they most likely will, if they do air this year...
It'll be later.
It'll be at the very end or probably in 2026.
Oh my God. So. Just the sound of that is overwhelming. 2026.
So our Patreon members, there's 3 clear standouts from their votes. It's All-Stars 10, SLAYSIAN ROYALE, and UK Season 7.
Ooh, do you agree with that?
I understand for sure why those are the standouts. Well, they're some of the best franchises, right?
That's such a congenial answer.
Well, so for UK, it's one of the most consistent best franchises. And so I would put that in mind. SLAYSIAN ROYALE, definitely out of the new versions of All-Stars, #1. And it's one of the best franchises, Philippines. And then All-Stars 10, just because it's a format change unlike we've ever seen. And if you want to hear more about that, I don't want to give spoilers here, you watch that video.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. But
true. You and Chastity gave the wish list?
It was her. Yeah. No. The spoilers for All-Stars 10 that's coming up this summer. Like what the format changes are.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would agree that those are my 3 as well.
I think my #1 is definitely SLAYSIAN ROYALE. I think that's probably my most excited one. And yeah, UK always has a good season. So that might be up there for me.
It's probably the most consistent franchise.
Hopefully the All-Stars will be, as you said, switch up, right, in the format. Hopefully that will be good, because I feel like it needs a little,
I mean,
it needs some substance.
For the past few years, we've gone back and forth between the non-elimination seasons. But when they haven't done that, like season All-Stars 8, just kind of like it hasn't, since the all-winter season for non-elimination, like that was the only one that really seemed to work. And then All-Stars 6 really worked. But, like, the last couple
haven't done it for you.
They're almost forgettable, too, in a way.
Yeah.
Like, besides Roxy's lip syncs on All-Stars 9, like, that was the highlight.
Right.
But
that was definitely the highlight for me as well.
But All-Stars 8, there really aren't
and
a ton of
Plastique's
highlights.
Runways.
Sure, yeah.
Those were really good. And Got Meek.
Meek.
Oh no, the Trixie Mattel jumped out.
I'm tired of going back and forth between those because the last few haven't worked.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're switching it up and trying something different. And it's, I mean, hitting All Stars 10 is a big deal, I feel like. So, like,
I know.
for the 10th anniversary of,
They gotta do
well, not
something.
even anniversary, it'd be longer than that.
I'm ready for all winners too, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. And again, that's like one of the only ways I really like the non-elimination season, where I think it works. Like, I feel like you have to be proven to be that good at Drag Race to win it,
Right.
to be on a season like that. So we're going to get into our list, and we're going to start off with two of our choices, both from the Philippines.
Yes.
One of your choices, Bernie, and one of my choices, Angel.
Yes.
I think these are both great choices, and they're both finalists on the last two
Exactly.
seasons.
They made it so far. I feel like both of them, too, have unresolved storylines, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Bernie, I really just wanted, like... I feel like she was my pick to win, you know?
Too. Yeah, me too. I loved her drag aesthetic, the superhero,
Oh, my God, yeah.
but mixed in with her culture.
Exactly.
She lacked a little confidence, because one of the big things was, like, her smile and her insecurities around that, but she's gotten the All-Stars teeth.
Right.
And, yeah, I would love to see her come back, being confident in herself in every way.
I would love to see that, too.
Angel does not lack confidence.
One thing she does not lack.
Because she almost got eliminated episode 2. She did still always feel like an underdog, even though she did so well.
Yeah, no, I agree. You were rooting for her.
Well,
you know.
I guess the problem was she was competing against her sister, who was Queen of the Universe.
It was so polished and
right,
yeah,
so perfect.
in
So,
every
like,
way.
It makes everyone look like they don't have it all together.
If they ever do a RuPaul's Best Friend race, I would love to see the two of them
Yes.
together.
Absolutely. Even though I didn't put Bernie, I feel like they're... The problem, too, with this was one of the hardest ones to put together ever for me because there's so many options.
Yeah.
You could do a whole cast of just the Philippines All-Stars because there's so many people I wanted.
There are, right. It's like when you're at the grocery store and they got all the good food and I'm overwhelmed. I need to go to Aldi.
Then I can't even
where they
get
only
it
have
together.
one option.
Right. Yeah, I kind of hope, we only did 10 each, but I'm kind of hoping that
They have a bigger cast.
there's at least 12.
Yeah, because there is, like you said, just so much incredible talent to pull from, you know.
And our next choices are pulling from Thailand. You chose Bunny B. Fly from, season 1? And from season 3, I chose ZP.
Well, I chose Bunny because I think Bunny is designed for Pangina, and, like, the designs
So many.
have, like...
Jan's promo look on All Star 6.
And I think Jimbo, too.
She's made looks for pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
And they're iconic.
Signature
brand.
talented. Yeah, signature.
So far, you
see
have a
something.
superhero theme.
Right, yeah. Which is normally your bag.
Right.
I'm coming for your bag. I would just love to see her back on because I think she would just eat it up to see her fully realized and fully confident.
It's been a long time.
It has been a minute, and I know she's grown because I see her Instagram and see all that she's been doing, and I would just love to see the looks, just the looks alone.
Yeah.
You know?
And ZP, I feel like one area she was missing was, the easiest fix for All-Stars, which is the looks. Having that All-Star budget and coming to meet the runway standards. She's a beautiful queen, great performer, and actually one of the strongest, I would say, for me personally, out of all 3 seasons of Thailand, the traditional, comedy, improv-based challenges that Drag Race is famous for, she's probably the best competitor from Thailand. And that's why I picked her, because she's really good and really funny. So funny. And that's not something that Thailand, the franchise, is known for,
And I feel like runways is an easy fix.
So easy.
Which
When you
Thailand is known for the runways, yeah. But comedy is a hard fix, you know?
Sure, yeah. They're totally different. You can just buy better looks.
Right.
You can have
You can hire a stylist. It's hard to hire someone to train you in comedy.
That's really difficult to fix that. Next, we're moving on to 2 choices from Canada, 2 assassins from Canada. You chose Kimmy Couture, and I chose Aurora Matrix. Both finalists as well on their seasons.
Would love to see Kimmy just for, the incredible, trans representation in the House of Couture. I just loved her on her original season.
Again, superhero theme. She had a lot of superhero looks.
She did, with the cape and I still think about her signature runway walk, and they put all 4 of them side by side, and I was like, I know this is supposed to be, like, make me not like it. But
it's kind of like
I
Lexi
live
with
for
her
it.
trains.
Yeah,
They were always good.
I was like, she's selling it. Of anything, this makes me like it more.
Aurora was new to drag and young, but was so incredible.
She
already.
Was. Yeah.
And a lip sync assassin.
She
fierce AF.
Could embody the song so well. Yeah. No, she would be fierce competition.
She'd be...
The girls would be scared.
One of the girls that, when she walks in, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. They'd be quaking in their boots.
Because she's just so damn good.
Right.
And already had, like, great looks and all. You know, like, she already had so much together.
I would love to see... I know she could redeem her Snatch game, too. So that would be really fun to, like, see her... She did that, Emperor with the tiny hands. Remember that?
Yeah. The problem with Canada Snatch Games is...
And Kimmy, I would love to see her redeem her Snatch
game. I was going to say, like, they're always bad. So, like, anyone from Canada...
I liked the first one.
Season 1 is in its own boat,
yeah.
Because, like, more than half of them did great.
Right. The Edith Piaf and JoJo Siwa, those were good picks. And then it's, like, ever since
Boa.
then.
Like, even Safe Girls.
Yeah.
Season 1 were great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we haven't had a good one since. Next, we chose 2 queens that won girl groups. And Angina was also eliminated in a girl group,
right. Triggered.
Angina from Season 1 of the U.S. and from Season 1 of Philippines, I chose Turing.
Yes.
Turing is the ultimate girl group girl from the Philippines, I would still say to this day. It was the first, like, moment in the which I think was episode 2 of Philippines. But, like, oh, okay, we're at a different level here. Like, she brought the star power.
Yes.
They were unfairly harsh on her and talked about her body all the time because they sometimes in Asia have a problem with big girls and the way they see them and treat them is not always equal, and I feel like they're growing, which is crazy because Jiggly's on the fucking panel, but Jiggly's talking to her like that too,
and she's a plus size girl,
right?
So it is crazy, and I feel like, and even like Kim Chi, she's probably one of the most famous Asian drag queens in the world, and she's plus size.
We've seen over the past couple seasons that Philippines has gotten better about it. There's still some areas that are
left for improvement,
but it's still better.
Yeah,
still better.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah, and I would love to see her get like a fair shakeout because she's a superstar.
Yeah, and I would love to see Angina get the real redemption because I feel like her All Stars 5 run almost kind of like left a shadow on her legacy. You know, I was just like, and
it really did though. There's something about that arc that she got.
And just how Miss Cracker was like, I think you should have written your name on taken some white out. I almost got some white out and wrote your name on the thing. Right. And I'm like, girl, like, leave Angina alone.
But the thing is, you know,
her looks were so
It was crappy of her to do that, but at the same time, like, Angina is a seasoned legend professional.
Yeah.
There's no reason she should let alone Miss Cracker get in her way like that. You know?
Exactly. So I would love to see her put that in the past and come back and, like, eat these girls up like the original Angina that we knew on season 1, you know? Because she
won 2 challenges that season.
Kind of my pick to win. Her or Nina Flowers were, like, my pick to win, you know?
Next, we're looking at 2 look icons, Kimora Hall for your choice from the U.S., and then I chose Suki Daw from Canada.
The House of Hall and Dahl.
Hall and Dahl. Both look queens, but my queen makes all her looks. And
my queen has Bob Mackie make her looks.
Oh, right. But Suki Daw also has had just unreal amount of like iconic looks that from other queens that have been on this season as well.
True. I mean, she's designed for Brooke.
So many people. Yeah, Brooklyn, the host as well.
She's incredible. I would love to see Suki back.
I mean, it made no sense when she left. Like, it was just like, what?
And, like, say, the judging on Canada sometimes is...
There's always one girl that goes out way too early. It doesn't make sense.
And it's usually a fashion girly, you know?
Lady Boom Boom, her.
Lady Boom Boom, her. And Kimora, I just think, like, had she been up against, you know, someone else, not Denali, in that lip sync and not
she needed one of these season 16 girls to lip sync against.
Yeah,
or 17. 17.
Yeah.
Not 16, 17.
I would just, I feel like... In that one little episode where she came back with the Sarah McLachlan style commercial, like, that just gave me a taste. And that look that she wore on the runway that RuPaul was like, I'll leave that in my dressing room, okay, when you go. Like,
hopefully she can get ready faster now? Probably not.
Hopefully she could. Or, you know.
She was funny.
As long as somebody else is slower than you on the cast.
Damn.
Then that can be okay.
So
but
she's Just not out first again.
Right. Just, but I feel like she's probably grown so much in her comedy, and
She's very charming.
she's so charming and so sweet, and we're rooting for her.
We were all rooting for you.
We're rooting for you. Maybe she can finally learn how to say that line.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Next, these were queens that were look queens, but newer to drag and a little rough around the edges, but so conceptual.
Mm-hmm.
You chose Bombay from Canada, and I chose Ivory Glaze from Down Under. She was the girl on season 3 that fell during the lip sync, like passed out. And they had to do it the next day.
Oh my God.
Remember that? But her looks, we didn't get to see much, but
Right.
her looks
From
were
what we
great.
did see,
Her entrance look was iconic, and then everything she's done since then, it's just been so
We've
good.
kind of
I
got a
just want
similar
more.
story going on with our star barrettes.
Oh, I can't see those.
But yes, I wouldn't be mad if she came back.
I definitely want more of her.
Yeah. It would be cool. Anyone who doesn't get a lot to show gets out on episode 1 or 2 or even 3. I am always welcome for them to come back because
Too bad you're not in charge.
your story can just change so much.
And especially like for these queens who were just younger and especially Bombay was definitely newer to drag.
Yeah, and
But
I
her
feel
looks
like
were so like her ideas were incredible.
ideas were there, and the looks were good, and I think the makeup has grown so much.
Yeah.
Like
that's really where she was missing was the makeup and her execution maybe on some of the challenges.
some of the
I guess.
comedic timing, but I love Bombay, and
I do too.
I feel like she could really shine now coming back on. I feel like it's been a good amount of time for her to grow.
Yeah.
And I think she'd be fierce. And she kind of was already fierce competition when she wasn't like
She made it like
when she
halfway.
was new. Yeah, she made it halfway.
In addition to the Philippines like being hard to pick just from that, Canada's also incredibly hard. I limited myself to just 2 from Canada.
Yeah.
Because I only have 10 slots.
Right.
And I did give half of my cast to Philippines because I feel like
That's
versus the
fierce.
world.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many that out of all the Asian queens, like the 5 I put are necessary for the first Philippines All Stars.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to figure out how to spread it out. I didn't end
is.
up putting any U.S. girls because, like, when I was down to the wire, I was like, I don't want any of those girls over the ones I did pick.
Yeah. That's so valid.
It's hard.
That's so valid.
Like, this is
Because there's just so much talent
There
in
really
the
is.
Philippines. Yeah.
and across all the franchises, like Canada is just crazy. Like, you could literally do an Asian All Stars
In Canada.
in Canada. You really
Yeah.
could, like, literally.
Yeah.
Next, 2 queens that also are look queens, but bring something a little different to the table that I think is necessary. You chose Rock M. Sakura from the U.S., and I chose Ovi from Philippines. Now, Rock was my U.S. queen that I cut, so...
Yes.
And Bombay, if I had a list of 12, that
would
have
be
been
on there too.
yeah.
I love Ovi though. Ovi was so just unique and always turned something different on the runway.
Her POV...
Yeah.
There's
her POV.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
There's no one... I wouldn't even try to do that. There's no one in the franchise, like, no one does what she does.
Yeah. No, she's, like I said, so unique. She puts the unique in charisma, unique to serve, and talent.
I feel like she's, kind of like, I don't know, to me she feels non-negotiable to be on.
Yeah.
Like, she needs to be there.
No, for sure. And I feel like I would just love to see Rock now.
You were saying earlier with early out queens.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she deserves that redemption. She was so charming and lovable, yet not confident.
And I just think about her heart-bringing elimination. Like, that was just, like, gut-wrenching. And you could
She
tell...
was our, like, first crier like that.
Yeah. And it was...
We've
Yeah,
had
and
a
then
few
you got
since then.
Mirage and... Pangina. And that should be a list.
She was the original.
Gut-wrenching criers. But I just think she had so much more to show. And she was not, like, unfairly judged, but I feel like they were, like... weirdly, I remember, like, her verse, they were like, she made a fart joke, and they were like, why did you do that? Then next season had a whole fart challenge.
Right.
So I was like,
praising the girls for it.
I was like, girl.
It just feels like she got that you don't do traditional drag, so we're going to judge everything you do extra harsh.
Right, exactly. But she has so much, and she's so funny, and her looks are just larger than life, and I would just love to see what she has to bring to the runway and in comedy challenges, because I genuinely think she was really funny even her first time, so it would be just fun to see her maybe in a less scared, a little more comfortable, and ready to slay. And hopefully she doesn't do that duct tape thing again.
Oh,
Remember
the cosplay thing.
Yeah. I was like, girl.
Well, the problem wasn't doing that. The problem was
all
the balls.
Balls. No more balls for you, Rock.
You do have a theme now. It went from superhero theme to like early out girls.
I did that intentionally.
Next, we're looking at two queens that are like. I try to come up with themes to pair them, and these queens are kind of like the social media girls.
They're kind of like.
Kind of like. You chose Kind, season 1, first out on Canada, and I chose Brigadine. Dean from season 1 of Philippines.
I love Kind. She's like one of my. I just feel like I quote her. In her all gold, you're kind of giving her all gold.
That's rude.
I
look like the disco?
Well, it's my favorite look tonight. I quote that when she said that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, and then she's walking back and the ball's falling off. And
she got, right. That's like classic comedy right there.
It is peak comedy.
The way she got that edit of like, well, I kind of think I'm, like, that kind of like.
Because she was a social media girl, and then I feel like that was one of their, like, we're going to humble the social media girl,
To be fair, the look wasn't great, but yeah, there's, again, like.
There were worse ones, though.
They were lasered in on her.
Right. They were watching her with a magnifying glass.
I'm lasered in on Brigadine's smile. That could be a toothpaste ad right there.
True.
That could be an ad, any kind of beauty ad for any product. Like, that is a beautiful face.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful faces in and out of drag from the Philippines, from any franchise.
Yes.
In the world. She would do well in some of the challenges, but she never popped. She was like always in the middle. And I'd love to see her come back and figure out how to make it work. Like to be the girl that pops that week.
Right. Because she's capable.
Because I feel like
that.
she could, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm scared. I would be scared if I was on this season because like there's just so many fierce competitors.
Yeah.
The potential. Yeah.
I feel like my cast is like they're really pretty. I wouldn't want to stand. I wouldn't even want to stand next to them. Both of our last 2 choices are the only 2 that we chose the same folks.
Yes.
But I like that out of 10 each on our list, we only had 2 that overlapped.
Yes.
From the UK, which is our first UK queen for either of us on the list, it's River Medway.
Yes.
I was between River and something Wong, but ultimately I had to go with my heart.
But you realized that was Wong.
Right. And I wanted to go with the flow on River.
Yes. Over the pond to the river.
The pond to the river to the lake.
Her whole exit on season 3 was just
too abrupt. It didn't make sense.
Whack-a-doodle-doo to me. It's just the double elimination with her and Teresa.
She's like superstar energy already.
Oh, she was so fierce, and I was just heartbroken when she was eliminated. So I would just I don't even really think, there's definitely things she could have grown on, but I would just like her to come back and share her talents again with the,
You think about her iconic cone look. That was perfect. But there were some that her concepts could be
polished.
Fine-tuned, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But so beautiful. Again, beautiful in and out of drag.
Oh my God.
And has that superstar energy. The thing is, queens like that, you can't learn that. She just has it.
Yeah, she has that twinkle in her eye.
Right,
that fire.
Some girls, yeah. I feel like I don't want to be shady and put other people down, but yeah, she just is a superstar.
Do it. This is a safe place.
Well, I was going to say, some of the girls you chose don't have that energy. Let's go through your cast. No.
I'm screaming.
Yeah, no, she's just, she's that girl.
She is. And
I would like to see her be treated that way.
Exactly. Maybe she needs to be in front of some just different judges,
Yeah, it'll be interesting because, I would assume that for the most part it's going to be obviously Mama Pow. And I'm assuming probably most of the similar judges that they have on a regular season in the Philippines. But I do hope that they switch it up a little. Yeah. Something to make it feel extra special. But
extra special and revered, as it should be.
And to have a variety of where the judges panel is from. Because if everyone's from the Philippines, again, you're going to have that, the big complaint that with global, are they going to get everyone's sense of humor?
All the different cultural nuances.
I don't actually think it would, because think about Angel's sense of humor. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it'll be a problem. But again, for any judges panel, you want that diversity. If the cast is going to be diverse from where they're from, then I think
the judging panel should be as well.
Should be the same.
Clock that T.
We have one last choice. We normally go alphabetically, but I was trying to change it up and be let's come up with themes.
Switch it up.
I put this queen last because I feel like they're probably the most anticipated from us, from the fans, from the world. It is Miss Jade So from Philippines Season 2. The icon went through the curtain, went into the light.
But I would Miss Jade So love to see her back.
Yeah.
You know, because she's just
she's an icon.
She's a star, a legend. Her personality is funny. She's gorgeous. I would just love to see her on TV again because she's so beautiful.
I feel like as the season progressed, she figured out how to make her work for Drag Race.
Right.
You know, like, she got better and better as it went versus, like...
She understood the formula.
Yeah, she figured out... I think she literally figured out how to make her personality and her drag make sense for the challenges.
Yeah.
And most girls don't figure that out during the season. They have to come back later or watch themselves back on TV.
But she did it in real time.
But she also still is that, like... I was going to say Alyssa Edwards type, but she's worse than Alyssa. She's crazier than Alyssa. Like, in terms of, like, her personality and what she...
Right.
Why I want to see her on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Vanjie on bath salts. Like, that type of energy. Like, she's just
Not
insane.
bad.
She's insane.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I'm screaming. Not Vanjie on bath salts.
She's
No, I
like,
totally get you.
Like if Tammy Brown was the world's most beautiful trans woman, you know?
Right. That's my new Tinder bio.
That's so stupid, but I like it.
I'm excited for this season, and I can't wait to see who they have and what it holds, and hopefully they really bring it on the challenges, because we've seen before, you can have a great cast and a great concept, and then the challenges are boo-boo the fool.
Yeah, like they didn't put the work in.
Right. So I hope the challenges are as good as these queens are.
I think they will be. Like, the Philippines hasn't really... they don't flop. I can't think of any, like, challenges that were like, well, that was a bad idea. You know, like, they haven't done that. The thing I'm most worried about is, when we're talking about what's most anticipated, what if they don't pick as good as cast as we picked? Like, what if it comes out weak sauce? Right. Then, it won't be most anticipated.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So I hope it's a high level, at our level or higher, you know?
Right. No, me too.
Now it's time to get into our YouTube thanks. Up first, I like the idea of when Pride Month comes, all the drag queens are mentally preparing for all the work and the shows they'll do, while Maddie is like, this is my vacation month. I did this really angry tangent as if Maddie Morphosis took a booking for me during Pride Month, where I was like, she should not work. Why are you booking Maddie for Pride?
I didn't even think about that. Who would do that? Did somebody do that?
It's happened.
That's a little... I feel like she should not say yes to that.
I know, that's what I said. I said she should turn those down.
She should stop.
Give the other girls the gigs.
Right. She'll be fine.
And they loved my teen look, the Billy.
Yes. I love that. Just showed my mom that episode last night.
Speaking of Billy, the next person has Billy as their picture.
Oh my God. Thanks
for another great video. You're welcome. Wishing you all nothing but the best during these difficult times when it seems like being different is more difficult than ever. It is starting to feel like RuPaul is gearing up to retire in the near future. We have Down Under with Ru stepping down.
I feel like she was just done with that franchise.
Right. I didn't blame her after season 3.
Yeah. After season 1.
Right. Well, they did that, though. Production did that.
Yeah.
It could have turned out better than that if they hadn't chosen to do what they did. She's had Raven and Michelle sub in for her on UK. And it seems like this season on the US, they're having Latrice do the Tic Tac lunches. You know, it didn't feel like the Tic Tac lunches, though. But I guess we're not getting
There were no Tic Tacs present.
You know what else we didn't get? Baby pictures. I think they did it at finale last year, though.
They'll probably save it for finale, I feel.
But they can't do the Tic Tac lunches at the finale.
No.
Like, those just aren't happening.
But not every season. Season 8 didn't have Tic Tac lunches. Like, they kind of do them sporadically sometimes.
Mm.
They haven't for a while, but... Just saying. They like to switch it up, just for switching it up's sake. So I wouldn't think too much into Ru not doing certain things.
Right, I know. I liked that the Latrice doing that. Like, it's like, oh. But I do like the idea of the queens, like a Latrice, taking on more of that type of role.
Yeah, disperse the wealth, you know.
Yeah.
And also, that one was a job interview for Las Vegas, and Ru doesn't work there.
Right.
So... it made sense for Latrice to do that, you know?
It definitely did, yeah. I like the idea of the queens stepping up more. But I do wish that it was almost like, since they brought up Down Under, more like Down Under season 4, where they had the rotating queens that were with them all season, you know? so that, like, I wish that Latrice had popped up a few other times in the season. I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
Like, have a...
Like a mentor moment.
Yeah, and that's what they were called on Down Under, but they were just judges.
Right. Get, like, a Tim Gunn up in there. Help the girls.
I would like more of that. But I don't think that necessarily... I don't think that has anything to do with retiring.
No.
I don't see that.
Ru loves to work.
The way that she's doing these crazy-ass TikToks, that I am too tired to even do stuff like that.
I love...
She got more energy than me.
That takes a lot of energy.
It really does.
Yeah.
And, like, she's so lively.
She's putting on wigs
She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
She's putting all kinds of crazy stuff on, running all around her house.
I know, it's so funny.
In the shower.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows by the 20th season? Because she is nearing 70, right?
It would be kind of fierce if she held a competition to see who would replace her.
Yeah, that would be fierce. But, like...
Maybe that would be all winners,
Ru's gonna be like Betty White. Work up until she's 90 years old.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think she's going nowhere.
Yeah, she's not gonna let it go.
Until she's no longer cognitive.
I hope she doesn't. Well, people come for Ru. You know, they like...
Yeah.
That's part of... It's not so-and-so's Drag Race, it's RuPaul's Drag Race. And people will come to watch for Ru, you know?
Right, she is a draw. She is the world's most... Well... I mean, you could argue that there's queens that have more followers around the world, but in terms of cultural impact to the Western U.S., there's no one that even comes remotely close.
She's the Madonna. Yeah,
she is more than the Madonna. She's literally the god of drag.
Yeah.
There is no Like, there's no one in her field that ever did what
all
she
the
did.
Things that she's done.
No one ever made as big, like even Divine, you know, she did make a mainstream impact before Ru, right before, but Ru did that times a million.
Yeah.
On steroids.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, there's no one, she's the god of drag.
There's no one that could compare.
She is the Jesus.
The Jesus.
I want to be Jesus. I
want to grill Jesus.
Stop talking about food. We get hungry here on these Mangle mornings. We do. But I do like the idea of, like, a anniversary season, or, you know, like, I like those ideas, and I like incorporating more girls, but I don't think there won't be a Ru retirement.
Retirement.
That'll be a season where, like, I'm sorry, you have, like, Mrs. Kasha Davis, a bunch of the older queens, and they're like, when they get eliminated, I'm sorry, you're retired. I literally think Ru will probably work up until they pass away.
Agree. Lady Bunny's still working. As long as Lady Bunny's still working, Ru's gonna still work.
Still kicking.
She's still kicking.
Let us know what you think about Ru retiring, and if that's reality. And what you think about the SLAYSIAN ROYALE season. Who do you want to see on the season? And on the judges panel. Let us know in the comments below. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Bye!